All right, we are diving deep into a really fascinating puzzle today, one that comes straight out of the book of Revelation. It all revolves around a question asked in a heavenly vision. But here's the twist. What if it's not really a question at all? What if it's something way more powerful? So here it is, the verse at the heart of it all, Revelation 7, verse 13. Just to set the scene, the Apostle John is in the middle of this mind-blowing vision. He sees a massive crowd in heaven, and one of the elders turns to him and asks this seemingly very straightforward question. This one moment, this one question is the launch pad for everything we're about to get into. Now, when you first read that, you probably think, okay, the elder is just curious, he doesn't know who these people are, so he's asking John. But what if there's a whole other layer to this? What if the elder already knows the answer, and he's not really asking a question at all? That's the tension we're going to unpack. So let's explore this first big idea. This question isn't coming from a place of ignorance. Not at all. It's actually a perfectly crafted moment. You could even call it a divine setup, designed to reveal an absolutely glorious truth. So you see, we have two completely different ways of looking at this. On one hand, you could see it as just an elder trying to get some information. But on the other hand, the deeper reading suggests something else is going on. The elder isn't asking, he's prompting. He's not looking for knowledge, he's getting ready to declare something magnificent. What this really means is that the question is a rhetorical device. It's a tool designed to pull John, and by extension, all of us, into this really powerful moment of testimony. It's like the elder is stepping up to a microphone and saying, "Hey everyone, listen up." He's getting ready to make a grand announcement. Okay, so if the elder is making a big declaration, the next logical question is, who is he speaking for? And this brings us to the next amazing piece of this puzzle, the idea that this elder isn't just speaking for himself. He's representing the entire glorified church, making one unified, powerful statement. So the idea here is that this is not just one angel or one elder being curious. This is the collective voice of everyone who has been redeemed, the church in all its glory, testifying to a fundamental truth about who they are and how they got there. Now that is a pretty bold claim, right? So where's the evidence for this interpretation? Well, you can actually find it baked into the blueprint of the verse itself, if you look at the original Greek text. So let's do that. Let's get a little technical. Okay, look really closely at that first word, apokrythe. In many Bibles, it's translated as answered, which is a little confusing since no one asked a question yet. But its real meaning is more like he responded or he replied. This suggests that he's not just starting a random chat, he is responding to the incredible vision he's seeing. He sees the crowd and his response is to set up this amazing declaration about who they are. So what do we call this? It's a classic rhetorical tool, something you see in other parts of the Bible. It's called a teaching question. The whole point is not to get an answer the speaker doesn't know. The point is to make the listener, in this case John, focus with laser-like intensity on the meaning of what they're seeing. It's really a masterclass in divine communication. All right, the stage has been perfectly set. The question has been asked, not for information, but for dramatic emphasis. So what is the grand, declarative answer that this whole setup has been leading to? Who are these saints in their brilliant white robes? The testimony is this. These people are all believers in Jesus. Their identity isn't about where they're from or when they lived. It's about one profound reality. They have been washed in the blood of the Lamb. They are victorious overcomers, not because of their own strength, but because they are clothed in the perfect righteousness of Jesus himself. And you know, this powerful theme of being washed and made pure isn't a new idea in Revelation. It's a thread that runs through the entire Bible. This incredible promise from Isaiah captures it so beautifully. The idea that even the deepest, darkest stains of sin can be made brilliantly, perfectly white through God's grace. And we don't even have to leave the book of Revelation to see this promise again. Just a few chapters earlier, Jesus himself says that those who overcome will be clothed in white. These white robes are a symbol of victory, a sign of their secure and eternal place in heaven. So, we've seen how a seemingly simple question is actually a brilliant rhetorical setup that leads to a huge theological statement. But let's zoom out for a second. Why does this matter? Why is it so important to reframe how we see this one verse? It matters because this verse isn't about one elder's confusion. It is the triumphant, thunderous declaration of the church in heaven, testifying that the work of Jesus is complete and totally victorious. It's a snapshot of the finish line, showing us the full number of redeemed saints, all of them there, all of them victorious, all of them pure. And that really leaves us with one final thought to wrestle with. If this vision shows the church in heaven not asking questions but declaring victory, how does that change our perspective today? How does seeing the church as a unified, victorious witness, rather than a scattered, struggling group, change how we view its purpose and its message right here on earth?